this video is to make something real clear for Hochul and Senator Sanders, the progressive oversight people that are actually uncorrupted. Thomas Massie, Ro Khanna, Becca Ballard. Senator Sanders is certainly affected. Sarah George, anybody who's progressive that is uncorrupted that needs me out here to help you nail all the moles. Number one, we're not going to nail them all. Anybody telling you they need me out here to nail the moles, well, bullshit. Because there's such an unlimited supply of them. Doesn't matter how many I expose, they got a whole new battalion after battalion after battalion because your whole state is run by the Epstein lobby. You have 600,000 people that are completely dependent on all these corporations. Yeah, you got a few little farms here and there. There may be a few independent businesses here and there, but you got 8 fucking Dunkin' Donuts in this tiny little town. They can't maintain 8 Dunkin' Donuts unless the consumers are willing to support the 8 businesses. That on top of what? 8 or 10 Starbucks? That means your consumers are willing to support the Epstein lobby. These big corporations, Wall Street corporate franchises. If they weren't buying from Dunkin' and Starbucks and say, oh no, we only want small little local mom and pop shops, we're only going to support the little local stores, these places wouldn't be in business. Especially something like coffee. You can buy a fucking bag of Starbucks coffee right there. They're 5 aisles over. I'm in Hanover, right? You can buy it anywhere for $10 a bag. Some of it's 15, whatever. It's still cheaper than $5-6 a cup. And all that barista crap. Oh, I gotta have this. All that bougie mocha latte soy blah blah blah. So anyway, this is the end of the road for me. This cancer is too far advanced. Piper advised you not to, you let her run your investigation and she set you up. I'm sure you let her run your investigation so you could prove that she sets people up, along with the Kennedys. They set people up to do their dirty work. But the cancer is too far advanced for me to go forward. I am not going to not be deposed. I'm going to call it quits and advise my parents to come up here with their attorneys and get me deposed so that they can get on the record that I'm not under duress. They can bring doctors who will make sure I'm not in any pain, who make sure I have whatever I need to survive the cancer. Because right now these videos, though they're completely honest and above board, I'm not letting the pain influence me. There's no fear influencing me. It's not that I'm late. I'm more than happy to get all the confessions we can possibly get. After what they did to my raccoons and the fact they used my babies for bioweapons, injected my babies full of bioweapons, yeah, I'm more than happy to help you. But I can't do it when both lungs are collapsing. That's it. That's a wrap. That's the end. This is a high stakes game of poker. And just like Kenny Rogers saying, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. You better count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. The hell out. Right now, we've taken it to the point where they've got all of you, the Sarah George and Mulvaney Stanek, I've asked for victim services repeatedly, and they've denied it. So if I die, my dead body's on them, which means they can just kill them. You got Kyle Kulinski, who's supposed to be your top advisor for the Justice Democrats, which is the progressives. That's AOC. That's Bernie Sanders. That's anybody who calls themselves part of the Progressive Caucus, saying Oh, fuck it, we'll let anybody. We just want to sweep the midterms, and we don't give a shit how deep they are in corruption. We don't care who they kill. We don't care how much they've been involved in the Epstein shit. We're going to keep quiet about it so we can sweep the midterms. That's a political coup. That means they get to kill y'all. His stupid ass went on and made a video about it. He confessed. They can now use that to kill him. He'll go buy a vape somewhere, and it'll be, they know where he buys his vape, whether he orders it offline, does he buy it at a favorite store, is there several different stores he buys from, and it'll have a lethal dose of fentanyl in it. He'll take a hit, and they'll call it an allergic reaction or some shit. When I say they'll kill you, we're talking about you are guilty. They set you up for treason. And that goes for my father, who's military, his brother, who's military. And remember, Virginia D. Piper is a military special forces instructor, and she's on record telling me I'm a special counselor to military dependents because they have special defenses because they absorb their parents or spouses or whatever. They absorb the military training, which means when they're calling Dad and David terrorists and Grandpa Chapman terrorists and Grandpa Moore terrorists, because they're all supposed to be drug traffickers. They're accusing Dad of drug trafficking. Got Darla Munoz on record accusing Dad of drug trafficking and child abuse, and basically child sex trafficking by default. They're accusing, and that means that when Allison Sosebee let Dad out of jail and didn't press charges, even though that was all a setup with my cousin, even if it wasn't, it doesn't matter. They're accusing him of sex and drug trafficking. They're accusing him of treason. When they're the ones doing the sex and drug trafficking with Epstein, all Iran-Contra shit. So the point is, you don't, when you're military and you're affiliated or you're military dependent, according to them, and you're committing all this treason, you're a terrorist. They can just put you down any way they want to. There is no due process. There's no filing charges. There's no nothing. That's why they tried to kill Dad at Bannock County Hospital. That's why they deliberately accelerated my uterine cancer and falsified the records. Oh, she didn't have cancer. She had pelvic floor issues because her parents on both sides are child sex trafficking, drug trafficking, and she's protecting them. And so if she's part of it, then why don't you bring charges? Oh, well, she's actually their victim, and we're protecting her. We're not trying to make it look like they're magnanimous when they just know damn well that the allegations are false. That's why they're not bringing charges on me. So once I die, my dead body will be probable cause to kill Becca Balint, Bernie Sanders, Sarah George, Mulvaney Stanek, my father, my mother, her husband, who was a sergeant in the Air Force who maintained and repaired Minuteman missiles, which means he had to have some kind of serious intelligence. He had to have some kind. If you have access to the Minuteman missiles, to the point that and he actually got some sort of special star or award, some special commendation, because he saved the Air Force millions of dollars, because the parts that were needed for the missiles, he figured out how to make in a machine shop. That's what kind of intel he's got. He knows how to make in a machine shop the parts needed to maintain the Minuteman missiles. And because he did that, and the Air Force didn't have to order the parts from the manufacturer, he saved them millions. So he got commendation. Never mind, he wrote the software, worked with all these. He went to work for NASA after he graduated Embry-Riddle, which was paid for by, I guess, the military. No, he paid for that himself. He's still paying that damn shit off, if I remember correctly. Anyway, after he graduated valedictorian from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Arizona, where Mom and Scott met. Went to work for NASA, and he was in charge of writing the software for the International Space Station. He won't get no due process. They'll just kill him. Okay? Kill him, kill Mom, and take all his assets. It ain't going to go to Meredith. It ain't going to go to Mary. He's not going to die, and then Mom will get it. And then when she dies, it'll go to Mary and her kids. No, it's going to be just like Barry Seals. Go watch the movie Made in America. They had Barry Seals flying in all that dope. He had so much cash he made from that dope sales, from flying in all that dope. He had all that property in Arkansas. His barns were full of cash. His closets were full of cash. He had to bury it all over his property. And then eventually they tipped off. They pretended like they weren't working with the DEA and the FBI to begin with, and sent the DEA and FBI on him. And then they confiscated it. Guess who got that? The same people who had him flying the drugs in the first place. You're just a vehicle. Whatever money they think they're going to give to you, whatever jobs you get, whatever apartments, whatever, they're going to kill you and take that shit right back. Got to know when to hold them and know when to fold. It's time to fold them. It's time to call their bluff, get me fucking deposed, because this shit right here can be called duress. Normally under the Sixth Amendment, this falls under dying declaration. But because I requested victim services and help from my parents for so many years and nobody came, now that I'm in a lot of pain and both lungs are trying to collapse, right now, luckily, I can use both my hands because I took a shit ton of pain meds. Before I took those pain meds, this was me making a fist. I couldn't make a fist. I couldn't move my shoulders up. I'm still, even with all the pain meds, I can't lift my shoulder any higher than that. It hurts too bad. It hurts too much. It's killing me to carry that backpack. I'm too saturated. Basically what I've been struggling with over the past year is this cancer has metastasized. That big knot right there, that's just one lymph node. Now all of them are full of the shit. Now that's on my back. It's next to my spine. It's obstructing enough. But when the lymph nodes in your hand get full of cancer and they blow up, and that edema blows up your hands, it feels like you got a tourniquet up at your biceps, cutting off the circulation. And that's basically what it does. It cuts off the circulation. It puts pressure on the arteries, so you got no circulation. So your hands are on fire. You can't move them. They feel like you got a blowtorch held to your hands. You don't have dexterity. And when both lungs collapse, that's it. I can survive one lung at a time collapsing, but when they're both trying to go, I ain't gonna survive that. You've ridden this horse into the ground. It's time to fold them. Quit while you're ahead. But the fact that I got all that going on, they can say I'm under duress, so we can't trust a word she says. Y'all didn't give her secure comms. You didn't give her work comp cancer care. You didn't go out and try to help her in any way. You cut off her goddamn doxycycline. You cut off her access to the dewormer, which I've got a bunch of it, but it's not the strength it's supposed to be. So even if they do keep enough of it in stock, it's going to cost $300 a week to keep me from dying. I ain't got that. And these motherfuckers here in Vermont ain't going to compensate me $300 a week. And I shouldn't have to take that much of it anyway. So it's time to get up here with a doctor or a nurse or Sarah George and Mulvaney Stanek, you need to get me a goddamn doctor. And don't tell. And here's the thing: I don't want to hear about. Well, Vermont don't have the resources. University of Vermont is contracted with New York Medicaid. Don't tell me Governor Hochul and Zoran Mondami and Tish James ain't got the motherfucking resources. That's why I have to file this TR, this restraining relief from abuse and protective order against Judd Tor and Chad Cronin, and I have to list all of these contractors, and I have to make it clear I've asked Sarah George and Mulvaney Stanek, since she's top law enforcement. Don't tell me she ain't in communication with Sarah George. I have asked for victim services very